In his book, Creating Affluence, Deepak Chopra mentions that one way we can bring more wealth into our life, financial abundance, is through tithing or, donating in a way that you don't get anything back. And, you might get tax breaks and so forth. I don't think that ruins the spiritual law. But you also, I think, receive good karma. And I started about 1.5 years ago giving to the World Food Program because I felt as though that would be something I could spend money on that would actually feel good in a long-term way, as opposed to material items, which I was finding were increasingly losing their sparkle. They might make me feel better for a week or so in some way, some nice new thing that I don't really need. But I realized that helping other people live is something that feels good in an ongoing way. And so I would suggest that, first of all, if you don't have any money at all, like if you are really broke and in need of help yourself, one way you can help is just, you can share this video on your YouTube or Facebook or whatever kind of page. If you are getting by, I'd recommend as a starting point trying 5% of your income. And so that might seem like a lot at first, but you might be surprised at how there's things that you don't really need, and that you might even be using things, experiences, substances, coffee, alcohol, cigarettes, something like that, to feel better. But you will feel better naturally if you're creating better karma in your life and naturally save money that way. So if you're just getting by, 5%, and if you're getting by comfortably, I'd recommend 10%. And you might find that money even comes back to you in ways that are unexpected as you give, as Deepak recommends. And whether it does or not, the important thing is we are all interconnected, and it's getting more and more difficult to ignore the fact that if somebody were starving in the house next door to us, we'd go over and give them some food. And that as we become more interconnected, it's getting harder to ignore the fact that a child dies of hunger every 10 seconds or whatever, and because that's happening somewhere else in the world, it's not really our problem. On the human level, on the level of our interconnectedness, it is something for all of us, I think, to be concerned about, and it is something that can be solved. I'm going to put a link to a video I watched earlier today. A representative of the World Food Program talking about how it's actually a relatively affordable problem to solve. But I don't think we need to wait around for governments because of all the politics and posturing and infighting that goes on there. We don't need to wait for governments per se to solve the problem. I think as individuals we can make our own life better and improve the lives of others. It's incredibly inexpensive to help others. I saw in this video today there's a packet that has basic nourishment and nutrients for the brain that can help people starve off or stave off malnutrition with 17 cents a day. So it's really incredible. I know food can seem like a really expensive thing if you live in a first world country, but basic nourishment is not that expensive, so that whatever you can afford to donate will go a long way. So again, share this video if you can't afford a thing right now to donate. I will put links to the World Food Program in this YouTube description, and 5% if you're getting by, and 10% if you're getting by comfortably. And of course, modify from there if it doesn't work. If you can give more or less, find out what works for you. But I have found personally that it really does make one's life easier and helps you feel good in an ongoing way to help others. Thanks for listening.